Hey BookTube, it's Jackie. How's it going? If you're new to me, it's the first time you're seeing my face. Hello, what's up? My name is Jackie. I sit on my floor and I talk about books. So that's why you're here, because that's what's going to be happening today. If you are not new to me, thank you for tuning in. The continued support, I really do appreciate it. So today for you, I have my weekly wrap up. This is from December 4th through December 10th and all my reading shenanigans in between. And I'm happy to say that my weird reading slump thing that I've been in lately is done. I completed some shit. Yes, not everything that I wanted, but I completed some shit. So without further ado, grab yourself a drink, have yourself a seat, and let's get talking some books. All right. So the first book I completed was Wanderlust by Lauren Blakely, and it looks like this. This is the first installment in From Paris with Love series. It was an audiobook done by Richard Armitage and Grace Grant. We have a friends to lovers, workplace romance, and we also have triggers for death of a family and exhibitionism. Yes. So, summary of this book: Joy has been promoted within her company to work in the Paris office as a perfume developer, and Griffin is her translator who has been hired by her company to help acclimate her to the Parisian life, get her through the language, and kind of just help her adjust to life in general. Joy and Griffin happen to meet by chance before they know they're working together, and there is insta lust immediately. They are super attracted to each other. Griffin has a British accent, Joy has an American accent, both major turn-ons for the other parties. And yeah, so they are smitten from day one, but they are like two ships passing the night. They pass, never assume they're going to see each other again until the day they are actually supposed to meet, where they perchance meet and then find out that they are who they're supposed to be meeting, and now they're working together. So once they've decided to work together, they have mutually decided that no romance can take place. Griffin is planning on leaving after this 3-month translating gig to go run a marathon and complete some of his bucket list items. And Joy is going to stay here and live her life, kind of be reborn, because she's had kind of a shitty life back in the States, basically making choices that she thought were the right choices, but they weren't in her best interest. So they decide to put their feelings aside, but you know what? It's Paris. It's the city of love. It's the city of lights. We all know that shit's not gonna fucking work. And you got Richard Armitage talking in your ear. You know damn well that's not gonna fucking work. And I'm right. It doesn't work. So this tentative friendship is very tenuous. It is very upon shaky legs, not stable footing, and of course the romance eventually does ensue. And then we have a great story. I gave this thing 5 stars. I had a fucking blast with this. This thing was awesome. I am so happy to finally be able to gush about it, because I had such a good time with it. So what worked? Hands down, audiobook. Richard Armitage as Griffin, fucking badass. Oh my God. So literally one of the main things Joy is attracted to about Griffin is his British voice. So what better to get literally one of the sexiest British voices on the face of the planet to narrate this book. Perfect casting, fucking adored it, made this book for me. It made it to where I really couldn't do anything while listening to this book because I was so engrossed and I just wanted to absorb Richard Armitage's voice. Grace Grant, who narrated the part of Joy, did fantastic as well. And there's a lot of French dialogue in this, and they did really well with the French pronunciations and enunciations and everything like that, which was fantastic. So I had Richard Armitage not only speaking in his nice, deep, bravado British accent, but then I throw some French in there, and I was a sopping wet mess. Okay, people, it was a chore to get through this one, but it was a chore that I will gladly do any day of the week. Any day of the week. Richard fucking Armitage speaking French in my ear. You can't. I can't. This audiobook literally made this book for me. The chemistry between Joy and Griffin. So if you do not get to experience the audiobook of this, even within the pages of this book, the chemistry between Joy and Griffin is on point. It is there from the get-go, and it never lets up. Even after they figure out that they're working together, they still have this innuendo back and forth, really good banter. It's a little sexualized, more innuendo than anything else. You could take it one way or the other, but it is there. It is very, very heavy, and it definitely helps progress this romance on. It was such a good time. This chemistry is so visible. It's so tangible. It is hot. It is amazing. I loved it. Another thing that really worked in this is Blakely's writing. This is my first Lauren Blakely I've ever read, and if she writes all of her books like this, damn, she might be one of my new favorites, because this book was sensory fucking overload. Like, if I read another one of her books and it's this sensory overload, I'm gonna need to buy a sensory deprivation chamber after her books, because my senses were so on point and so tuned in, buzzing everywhere. Taste, sound, touch, smell, sight, everything. Like, I could see in my head the description of Paris and the lights and the way she described the rain on the pavement looking like diamonds. I could smell the perfume that Joy was creating, because the notes that Lauren Blakely wrote in there were so on point and so tangible that I could smell this perfume that she was creating. The food, the fucking food. Oh my God, I got so fucking hungry. Okay, I'm watering other places because Richard Armitage, but my mouth was watering because all I fucking wanted was these chocolate tarts and these pastries and the bread. I am a carbs girl, ladies and gentlemen. I am a carbs girl. I love me some fucking bread, and that's all they fucking talked about was bread. Oh my God, I got so fucking hungry. I got so hungry listening to this book. It was amazing and awful at the same time. But Lauren Blakely, the way she writes, it's so descriptive, but it's not so descriptive that it's overpowering. It's all you're getting. It's just enough to make you put you in there. It puts you in that spot, and I've never been to Paris. All I've ever seen is pictures, but oh my God, I feel like I was there. I feel like I was on Joy's terrace looking at the Eiffel Tower at night, all lit up, and I could see all the lights, and it felt real. I could feel the couch cushions on her terrace. I could feel the chill of the Paris fall. I could see the rain and the pavement glistening like diamonds. I could experience all of it, including the sex scenes with all the touching and groping. I could definitely feel those. Those are great. Oh my God, this is sensory overload to the nth degree. Fucking adored it. Loved it. I hope all of her books are like this. I plan on continuing with her as an author, because if all of her books are like this, I am going to just be in jelly heaven forever. It's awesome. It's a great place to be. Another thing that worked in this was the mutual respect between the hero and the heroine in regards to their own personal goals. So Joy has her goals. She's come to Paris to basically reinvent herself. Griffin has a bucket list that was given to him by his brother who passed away, and he is trying to fulfill it. When both of those ideals and dreams are put out into the open and both parties know about them, they have a mutual understanding and respect to not hold each other back. Now, does that make for some great drama, some great tension? Yes, it does. But I really like the fact that two grown-ass adults acknowledge that they have their own fucking lives, and sometimes your lives don't intersect. They only intersect for a moment, and that's all you're ever gonna get. Is that all we ever get? I don't know, you have to read the book to find out. But I like the fact that that was brought into it, because that is something that a lot of adult couples deal with. I don't know how many people that if I met them at a different time in my life, it would be a completely different ballgame. But because I met them at this point and I was focused on this, that was my goal and my dream, and they respected me enough to not hold me back, just as I respected them to not hold them back. I thought that was great that was put in there with this super spicy, super sensory overloaded book, but we still had that kernel of humanity and respect between two grown-ass adult people, and I thought it was fucking dope. Loved it. I loved that. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. I am not really a big fan usually of the epilogues in books. I can usually take or leave them. But this epilogue, no, this thing had to be there because it was so fucking sweet. Oh my God. Oh, I'm glad I got that one because I really wanted that. I really wanted that for this couple. So I'm very happy that the epilogue is there, and the way it was done, and just the full circle that Lauren Blakely brought for this brought for this couple and kind of their story. I just thought it was awesome. The epilogue made this ending perfect. What didn't work? I was very hungry. I got very hungry listening to this book. I don't normally have hunger pains after reading books. This one definitely raided my fridge and my sugar cabinet a lot. I wanted sweets, and that's all I wanted was sweets after reading this book. So that was like the only thing was I found actually really wrong with this book was the fact that I was craving so much sugar. And I'm like, it's already like Christmas time, so all the sweets are available. This is great for my waistline. Thanks, guys. Thank you. Appreciate that one. Only problem I had with this book is that it made me fucking hungry. We do have a spice rating of 3 chili peppers. We have some graphic language and graphic sexual situations. But there is this one scene. Actually, there's 2 scenes, but they are mirrored of each other. It is a fantasy masturbation scene from the male's perspective and the female's perspective. So we have Griffin in the shower fantasizing about joy, and we're actually being told from his point of view in Richard Armitage's voice. By the way, I didn't do a damn thing when I listened to this chapter, okay? I'm just gonna be perfectly honest. I sat there and just zoned because it was, he is literally describing the fantasy that he is seeing and what he is utilizing to engage in his own self-love, and I fucking ate that shit up. Oh my God. That is not a viewpoint I ever get, okay? I ever get. Ever. So that was super, super cool for me. I was like, yes, 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 yes. So he has Joy doing one thing in his head, but he's like, no, I don't want her like this. This is how I want her. And I'm like, oh my God, he just switched it up. Oh my God, this is fucking hot as hell. I love it. Oh my God, I love this. And then literally a few chapters later, we get Joy doing the exact same fucking thing, but from her perspective and imagining what Griffin is doing. And I was like, I know what this feels like. I do this. This is awesome. Oh my God, I fucking love this. Yes, this was dope. I fucking love that Lauren Blakely put this in this book. It was great. It was great for the storyline, especially with the whole friends to lover, workplace romance, trying to stay away from each other. I thought it was great. Oh my God. It was one of the coolest concepts I've seen. FTD Bank memory right there. It is in there permanently. That was awesome. Fucking dope. And Richard Armitage just speaking. Oh my God, I needed a minute. Yeah, I might have listened to that one on repeat a few times. It's pretty delicious. We also have some outdoor scenes, very exhibitionist style tendencies. There is this great scene where Griffin says, we're all voyeurs here. It's Paris, but everyone will see me. So we're all going to see you. It's Paris. It is just like common sense. And it was fucking fantastic. And so we're having sex on the terrace, on this couch, under the stars, in front of windows. Completely uninhibited, completely open, completely free, completely hot. It was fantastic. The sex scenes in this book were so fucking dope from both perspectives. Legitimately, both perspectives did a fantastic job. And then to top it all off, you have Richard Armitage speaking dirty talk in your ear in French and in English. Can you get any fucking better than this, people? You can't, okay? You can't. Oh my God, that man's got the sexiest voice ever. He does. It was amazing. I had such a great fucking time with this book. Plan on continuing with the rest of the series. I downloaded the second book in this series already so I can pick it up whenever I'm ready for it. Unfortunately, Richard Armitage did not narrate that one. Damn it. But I really like the way Lauren Blakely wrote, so I'm gonna have a good time with that one for sure. The next book I completed this week, I was feeling a little down. I wasn't really in the Christmassy spirit with it being so close to Christmas. So I decided to pick up one of my Christmas books, and that is A Shoe Addict's Christmas by Beth Harbinson. I read this in one sitting, and this thing was fucking adorable. I had a great time. I had this book for a long fucking time, and I've never read it. And I don't know why, because this thing was fucking stellar. 5 stars, super short, read it in a single sitting. But such a good fucking time. So what we have, it's not going to stand up. Are you going to stand up? There you go. What we have here is a Christmas Carol retelling. So Charles Dickens' Christmas Carol retelling, but made for a shoe addict like myself. So a little something about myself is I love shoes. And we have sort of a second chance romance, but it's more like a second chance at romance, not a second chance romance between two people. And I'll explain that. So summary, we have our character of Noelle. She gets stuck in her department store over Christmas Eve. She's working through and she doesn't realize that it's closed and she is locked in. So she's staying in a department store that sounds perfect, like something off of Broadway Street with shoes and clothes and a store a toy store area, just like an old school 1920s, 1930s department store. The snow is falling outside and they've snowed her in and she's locked in here. And she's like, I'm just gonna go shopping, it's fine. And she picks out a few things and then she hears this loud thud and she finds this little old lady who has dropped all of these shoes off of this wall, this display wall. And turns out this little old lady is her guardian angel named Charlie. And Charlie takes her on a journey. As they're putting the shoes back, she tries on specific shoes that remind her of moments, and it's just like the three spirits in A Christmas Tale with Ebenezer Scrooge. But these moments she plays, they are unhappy memories at holidays because she had a very rough childhood. Her mother passed away shortly before Christmas, and ever since then, all the holidays really just always soured for some reason or another. But what happens is she sees the memory, and then it immediately plays back in a much happier ending. And the much happier ending, the only change is if she would have taken a chance and done the thing that was out of her comfort zone, she would have experienced. And in each memory, she meets the same person, just at different points in her life. And I just thought, I just adored this. I ate this thing up. This thing was super fucking adorable. I literally shut the book and I looked at my husband. I'm like, that was fucking adorable. And I sat there and told him the whole damn story. And he was like, oh, okay, that sounds really, really cute. Because he knows I'm a big fan of Christmas Carol. It's my favorite. So not knowing that this was a Christmas Carol retelling thoroughly surprised me. Had a great fucking time with it. What worked was the simple fact that the respect to the original story by Charles Dickens, it was respected, but it wasn't directly ripped off. It was twisted just enough to make it Beth Harbison's own, but at the same time, it still paid enough homage that you knew this is Christmas Carol. This is her homage to Charles Dickens. I mean, the guardian angel's name was Charlie. Okay, that's a freaking adorable. Okay, and then you have this old-timey department store and the snow in the big city, but it was beautiful. I had such a good time with this. The story also gives a really great message about taking chances. Sometimes you have to step out of your comfort zone to really live. If you don't ever spread your wings and step out that door, life is going to pass you by over and over and over again. There is mentioned of the Christian story of the drowning man who has prayed to God and said, please save me, and a boat passes by him and says, no, God's gonna save me. And a couple of boats pass by. Eventually a man drowns, and then when he reaches heaven, he says, you didn't come to help me. He's like, I gave you 3 freaking chances, dude, and you turned them away. I'm not going to come right there and grab you out. You got to get in the boat yourself. You got to do it yourself. I can open the door and you got to walk out. So I love the message of the story that, sometimes take chances, things that are uncomfortable. If you get offered a chance to go skydiving and you feel really, really scared, but you also feel excited at the same time, go jump out of the fucking plane and see what happens. Who knows, you might fall for a really cute skydiving instructor and you might have an exhilaration feeling. You could be like my friend Alyssa, who randomly one day took a plane ride and got offered to hold the handles to actually fly the plane, and now she's a licensed pilot. She just took a chance, and it was fan-fucking-tastic. I love the message of the story. I love it. And this thing gave me all the Christmas feels. I was kind of feeling down about the Christmas. I just wasn't really into it. I'm not really on my normal schedule, my routine. I'm just kind of dragging through, but this kind of kick-fired it, kind of set it back up for me, and now I'm back in it. So it definitely perked me. Only thing that didn't work was I kind of wish it was a full-length story and it wasn't a novella. I don't think it would have the same punch if it wasn't a novella, because this little book packs a punch, but I would have loved to have this a full-fledged novel Christmas story. I think that would have been adorable, and I love this cover. I mean, this is super adorable. There is no smut, there is no steam, there's no spice, there's no puff, there's nothing, but it is left with hope that what is supposed to happen will happen no matter what choice you make. So I had such a good fucking time with this. This was fantastic. It was a great thing to boost my holiday spirit. The next book I completed this week was Beauty is a Blade by Jason Bourne. Looks like this. This is the book that I read for Reezy Discovery this month, and I did a full book review for it. I'll link it up here for you guys. I gave it 3 stars. This thing was a roller coaster that I was not prepared for. So if you do pick this up, please keep all your arms and legs in the cart and make sure your seatbelt is properly applied and locked in, because you will fly the fuck out if you're not properly seated correctly, because this thing, fantasy tropes layer on top of each other, and it's like a train wreck watching, but you cannot take yourself away from it. You will be on the edge of your seat. I don't know if you're gonna be comfortable with it, but you're gonna be on the edge of your seat the whole fucking book. So please go check out the review if you want to hear more about it. I did give it 3 stars, and it is the first installment in a series as well, and the second installment actually drops next month. So I think I might actually pick it up, because while I was going through it, I was not liking it. But by the end, I was like, I kind of want to know what the fuck happens now. Jesus. So it will not snuck up on me. And the last book, which I have not yet completed, but I'm still trugging through, is Valor by Gwynne. It is going a little bit faster now because I'm starting to remember all the characters. They're starting to relay the stuff from the previous parts of this book, not just Malice. So I'm having a really good time with it. But yeah, Gwynne hit the ground running with this book. I mean, I'm like 200 pages in, and there's deaths, there's murders, there's backstabbings, there's twists, there's turns, and this is a 700-page book. So yeah, hit the ground running, no holds barred, all arms and legs in the cart at all times, because you're gonna get to throw the fuck out if you were not properly seatbelted in for this book. Just telling you right now. But yes, I will continue to plug my way through this. I think this is going to be one of those books that I'm kind of reading the entire month and just reading other books over it to kind of break up it, unless I, seriously bust it out here soon. And the last book I actually worked on was my alpha reader book, which is Second Chances by Erin Gresham. And this is actually what it looks like. She sent me a graphic for it so I could show you guys what it looks like. The first part has been sent off to the editors. So we are in the editing phase of the first part, and she is in the process of finishing the second part, which she will send to me, and then we will work it through. This thing is turning out to be so fucking dope. I am so proud of her for doing this. This book is just, I think this is gonna be something really fun and special. And she got picked up to be on Books and Beer, a podcast. I will link the lady down below. I cannot remember the name off her top of her head, but her podcast is Books and Beer, and she got picked up to talk about her book in March. So I will link all of that stuff down below for you guys. But yes, this is Second Chance by Erin Gresham, and the first part is at the editors right now. So I will keep you guys posted as it starts to develop. So that is all I got for you guys today. I'm glad to be out of my slump. Yay. And this week I have got some videos planned up, and I'm starting to work on my end of the year plans. My January plans, trying to finalize those. So all those lovely end of the year videos are starting to come your way. So keep your eyes peeled for those. I'll see you guys all later.